Okay, so let's unpack this. Today we're doing a quick deep dive on an online store called Evanna Clothing.
Hmm.
You see it pop up, it looks trendy, the discounts are huge, and the question is simple. Is it legit or is it, a huge risk?
No, right. And our mission here is to look past the flashy website. We need to find the real signs, both good and bad, to help you decide if it's safe to click buy.
So the first thing you see is the appeal. It's powerful. The site bills itself as this high fashion retailer with steep discounts.
Oh yeah, they have these banners everywhere. I think our note said 75% off for a limited time.
Exactly. And you see these hoodies for, what, $1925, supposedly marked down from a much higher price.
And, if you just glance at it, it
Yeah.
seems professional. There are a few positive signs right up front.
Like the technical stuff.
Yeah, exactly. The site has a valid SSL certificate, so you get that little padlock icon. Your connection is encrypted,
Okay.
and it supports all the big payment methods. You see the logos for Visa, MasterCard, Apple Pay.
And for a lot of shoppers, that's it. That's the end of the checklist. They see those logos and they just assume it's all good.
That's the trap, because those things, and SSL certificate payment processors, they're actually pretty cheap and easy for anyone to get now.
So it's like a costume, a facade of legitimacy.
It is. It sets a very low bar. You can look completely trustworthy without ever having shipped a single reliable product.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting because once you peel back that first layer, the problems show up fast.
Hmm.
The first major red flag our research flagged was the age of the domain. It's described as very new. Why is that such a big deal?
Newness is probably the single biggest risk for a consumer, especially with these kinds of online fashion stores.
Because there's no history.
Exactly. A new
Ah.
domain means no track record. Zero. It means you have unproven shipping, unproven product quality, and maybe the most important part, no history of customer service or returns.
Right. If something goes wrong, you have no idea if they'll fix it.
None at all. And that's why the third-party trust scores for this site are so poor.
And they were pretty different, which I found interesting. Scam Advisor gave it a medium-low trust score.
Yeah, but then you look at Scam Detector, they give it an extremely low trust score. They flat out called it risky and untrustworthy.
So why the big difference?
Well, you can sort of see the logic. The medium-low score probably gives them credit for having the SSL and the payment options we talked about.
The technical check marks.
Right. But the extremely low score is clearly weighing the age, that lack of history, much more heavily. It's focused on the operational risk, the risk of you actually getting what you paid for.
Okay, so that really clarifies the situation. So what does this all mean for someone who's got a cart full of those $20 hoodies?
The final verdict is that while we can't call it a confirmed scam, it is without a doubt a high-risk retailer.
High risk.
So the advice has to be, if you absolutely must buy from them, you have to proceed with extreme caution. You need to understand, the risk isn't about your card being stolen, it's about the product and delivery.
Which means you have to protect yourself from the get-go.
Absolutely. The number one rule is to use a payment method with strong buyer protection.
Like a credit card, not a debit card.
A credit card or PayPal if it's an option. Then you track everything. Keep all your emails, all your receipts, and when the package arrives, if it arrives, you have to make sure what's inside is what you ordered.
And if you're feeling even a little bit unsure.
Just don't do it. It's always, always safer to buy from a retailer you already know and trust.
That's a great takeaway. Vetting the site itself is the most important step. Hopefully you can use this framework, surface appeal versus the hidden risks like age on any new site you find.
And that really brings us to a final thought for you to chew on. When a brand uses these super aggressive temporary discounts to pull you in, how much of the responsibility is on them to be transparent about how new and unproven they are? Or should it all fall on you, the shopper, to have to dig around for these external, sometimes conflicting trust scores just to stay safe?
Something to think about next time you see that 90% off banner.